I'm addicted to the scriptures. I'm addicted. I'm addicted. I'm addicted. I'm addicted. I say a prayer every morning when I wake up. It's a blessing knowing I'm a child of Jacob. I got a problem that I need to take care of.
I want to start off giving all honor and glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, HAMASHIACH, YAHAWASHI. We're out in Greenville, South Carolina, giving the true word of the Most High God. Right, spreading the gospel, and teaching Israel their sins. And Lord willing, we're going to rebuke some people. And Lord willing, we're going to edify some people tonight. So Shalom, Israel. Got a second? Yeah. What you up to? Right there? How y'all doing? Y'all got 1 second? That man right there? You think that's right? That's Christ? Yeah. Without the horn. Oh, no. So what do you think Christ was? Middle Eastern. Middle Eastern? Yeah. Alright, let me ask you a question. The same people that's here in America today, do you think they're the same people that was here 800-900 years ago? So, to say that the Arabians, the people that are in the Middle East today, how do you know for a fact those are the same people that were there when Christ was in the world? That's a good point. Good point, right? Yeah. You want to hear what Christ, it's an actual description of Christ in the Bible. You want to hear? Yeah, sure. All right, we look at Revelations 1 and 1. All right, this is the revelation of Christ, right? The revelation of Jesus Christ. So what does the word revelation mean? Something being revealed. Revealed, yeah. So you got a little knowledge on y'all. Speaking to people that didn't even get that far right. All right, it's in the word. Revelation, revealing. All right. So we're going to Revelations 1 and 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool. So his head and his hairs were white like wool. All right, so his hair was wool. You ever seen a sheep before? Yeah. Is that woolly hair? Does that look like woolly hair? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's not woolly hair right there. No. You seen the sheep? The sheep doesn't have long, stringy hair like a long-haired dog. No, it doesn't have those things. Yeah. All right. As white as snow, in his eyes was a flame of fire. So Christ drank wine, so his eyes was a flame of fire. All right. He didn't get drunk in the wine, but you know if you drink wine, now why do your eyes turn red? Yeah. All right. So listen to this. In his feet, like unto fine brass. Now his feet actually goes in the color. His feet was like unto fine brass. Now what color is fine brass?
It's like a goldish.
Like a goldish type of. Metallic. It's a brown derivative, but it's a like goldish brown derivative.
Yeah. It's
right?
metallic.
Now listen to this. Listen to this. And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in the furnace. So you take that fine brass and then burn it in the furnace. What color's in it? No, burn it. If you burn anything, not heating it up to a certain stage, but burning.
Black.
Yeah, black, right? So, who is that? But I'm not even gonna say this is what Christ looks like, but that's a more accurate depiction.
Yeah.
That man right there has nothing in the middle. Yeah. All right, so let me ask you a question. You think everyone's equal?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, everyone's equal. You read the Bible before? You think the Most High thinks everyone is?
What?
You think the Most High thinks everyone is? Oh, yeah. You go to Deuteronomy 7 verse 6. Alright? For thou art the holy equal to the Lord thy God. What is the word holy?
Holy is like sacred.
Sacred, separate. Alright? The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. So the Most High is a special people that are above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Y'all believe in that man right there? Believe in that man right there?
Yeah, what is this?
You think that's right?
Пошли, у него видео, видишь, он снимает видео все.
You think that's Christ?
I'm not going to say it.
You want to hear the depiction biblically of Christ? And you can tell me.
I'll stay away from that.
So you think this white man is Christ?
Have a good day. No, night.
Alright. What's up, man?
How are you?
You believe in that man right there?
Which man?
This man right here.
No, I don't believe in.
Alright. Well, I mean, that's the better thing. Because I'm gonna have someone that don't believe.
All about science.
Oh, you're all about science.
Yeah.
Alright. So you got a Scientologist up there.
No, I'm not a Scientologist.
You will, let me ask you a question. Can you prove the things of science?
Yeah, I mean science, so like mathematics. Like,
Can you prove evolution?
sure, I mean science. Yeah,
How can you prove evolution?
because scientists have like.
So you don't even know how they prove evolution.
Well, I mean, I'm not.
Can you prove unicellular organisms turn into multicellular organisms?
What do you believe?
The one on the truth is art. Art.
Right.
The most high.
What?
The Most High.
So when do you believe that the earth was created?
When do I believe the earth?
John, we have to go.
When the Most High created?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Messiah created it.
No, not the Messiah.
Polar
The
bear.
Most
You
High.
believe in the universe?
Do I believe in the universe?
Yeah.
What do you think is the universe?
Alright. So that's.
Do you think there's other planets out there?
Yeah, of course.
Can you prove it?
Of course we can.
Have you been up there to prove it?
Yeah, but we have pictures.
Pictures, right? You believe in pictures?
I believe, yeah.
You know pictures can be edited, right?
Sure.
So you
So
believe
can
it?
that book.
Oh, but you know this book was made by Holy Prophets of the Lord, right?
Says who?
It says who?
Yeah.
The scripture.
Well, who made the scriptures?
Let me put it this way. If I can prove something that happened 10,000 years ago,
Yeah.
well, it happened 2,000 years ago, and it happens today, and it's a
I
prophecy.
guess what my problem is that your argument is the same both ways.
No, because
I was
the
not.
difference between me and you, I can prove it.
How
You
can you?
can't. See, I can
By
prove.
burning bush?
No. I can prove things actually come into pass.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah. Okay.
About what you can't prove, though. That's the whole point.
He don't understand, man.
But you know what? You don't need to prove the Bible.
Exactly. But yes, you do to people like him.
Well,
This-
no, that defeats the purpose of faith. God wants us to exercise free will to believe in Him. It doesn't matter what skin color we are or what any of that is. We're all immortal creatures that are just operating machines.
Look here,
Our bodies are machines.
I'm gonna get to your point, but I'm gonna answer this point. All right, this is Romans 3:3. For what if some did not believe? So he don't believe, man. He don't believe in the Most High. He don't believe in nothing. He believes in science, even though he doesn't know a damn thing about science. Ask him how. Like, if he actually could break it down, I would have a little bit of respect for him. He doesn't even know what. He can't even tell me what evolution is.
Science is one thing, but faith is I mean, they're all doors to the same house.
All right, but here we go. Listen. Shall their unbelief make the faith of God without effect? Is this unbelief gonna change anything? Like I was telling them, I can prove things that happened in Jesus' days that came to pass. They're actually prophecies that were fulfilled. He can't prove a damn thing with his science.
Yeah.
Those
But
science.
these words that you're reading
Yeah.
right now, they're translations.
Yeah,
So
but listen to this.
those-
From the original Hebrew, the Greek,
Yeah.
the Greek Septuagint, the Masoretic text, and also the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Exactly.
So you have to understand, he reads books. He believes in those books. He believes in science books. He believes, who's to say those people don't know a damn thing what they're talking about?
yeah, exactly.
Okay, this Bible is lasted for a long time for a reason, because prophecies in it actually come to pass. It's actually been backed up by multiple people.
I'll give you that. There's 11 more books of the Bible than the Vatican City is sitting
And I
on.
have it in here. It's called the Apocrypha. All right, this is the 1611 King James Bible. All right, these are it's actually 14 books that were taken out of the Bible. It's called the so-called Apocrypha, which is named the missing books. The Catholic Church took 14 books out of the Bible.
So you have them?
And I have those books in all those tabs is those 14 books. All right, so a lot of people don't know that. Like, you got a little knowledge on you. Like, a lot of people don't know that. They think the Bible's finished. The Bible's finished. It actually has, the Catholic Church took out 14 books in the so-called Renaissance era. It's what they call the so-called Enlightenment era. All right.
Well, there was the Council of Nicaea in 608 BC, where they edited it to make Jesus look in they're shedding him in a different light. I mean, they had all sorts of different motives, but what you're saying, yes, this is the Word of God.
Yeah.
But before it was ever written down, when humans first started thinking of themselves, that was the Word of God that was spoken, and then they started to write it down. It changes, and it changed through translation and stuff, but I do believe it is the truth.
This is why the King James Version is the most untouched. All right, it's the actual translation. You go into the NIV, you go into these other versions. I want to hold you on the point you said. You said it doesn't matter what we are.
Yeah.
We're all the same. And I told you we have the Most High has a special people that are above all people. All right, so what do you think that means?
I think he's talking about the people that have faith, that exercise that, and that I believe he refers to the Jews initially, and so that That's
Who are the
people-
Jews?
They're the ones that hold Yahweh sacred. Because they're what they call, I'm not even supposed to say that word, but he's
It's not the true
one.
name.
Yeah.
It's not the true name. You can say it.
And that's exactly like these words that we have for it is not the true.
There's no E in Paleo Hebrew.
It's
So-
YHWH.
Exactly.
And
Actually goes to actual name. And like I was saying, you know, what actually what Christ came for? You think Christ came for everyone?
he was the Son of God. He was the hinge that.
You think he
all
came for everyone?
consciousness- Yeah. of
All right.
course.
I'm gonna read Matthew 15 and 24. All right. You tell me what you get out of this. All right. But he answered and said, I am not sent but into the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So Christ answered and said, I am not sent. Don't you think for a second I was sent for anyone else but into the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Now, do you know what that means?
Just coming back to redeem the church that was initially laid down, or I think he's talking. Israel is the people, the original,
The
Jews.
Israelites.
Yes. And
All right. You know who those people are today?
The Jews.
You think those are the real Jews?
No. I mean, it's been changed in so many
See,
ways.
biblically, this Bible tells us who are the real Jews.
And that's why we take the Bible and we look at it at what it's saying, maybe not concrete, maybe in more of a metaphorical sense, or what it's representing.
If you call it's parables, but you have to understand those parables.
But you have to also
if you don't have
look
any
deeper.
understanding, you might think those are myths. You might think those are things that are made up because the Most High uses parables because His word isn't meant for everybody. But like I was going to tell you,
Let me ask you this: how would people communicate now?
what do you mean?
Let's say me, myself, you, an Asian man from Asia, a person from Africa, how would those people communicate heaven?
Where do you think heaven is?
I think it's a state of paradise where consciousness, it's more of a communion with God than anything, and being a part of
That's
God.
what you're gonna find out. Is heaven is on earth. Actually, there is no actual place up there in the sky that we're gonna go to. And hell is not. There's no one under us, a demon fighting the Most High. All right, the Most High sends out these demons. The Most High controls everything. The Most High created everything. So how can something be fighting against it?
Well, God's existence, if He exists, that's where math comes into play. It's set theory. If He exists, then that means there's other things that don't exist. Just by His sheer existence, that's Saturn, that's Satan, that's the nothingness where that comes from, and that's. Just because He exists, that means like Him going away. That's the difference between love and fear. Like God creates love, and God
So what
is
is love?
God is love.
What is God is love?
Yes, God is love, and everything that comes from Him is.
That's not true, but anyways, God isn't love. I'm gonna prove that to you right here now. God, how can God be? If we're made in the Most High's image, how can He be only love?
Well,
You have anger, don't you? You have emotions, don't
so
you?
does God.
So the Most High so He's not all love.
He's 100% all. He is all love. Love.
Right.
Do not get angry at the people you love.
Listen to
The
this.
people you love are the people you mostly get angry at the
You
most.
said the Most High. So the Most High doesn't hate anything. All right.
He can't use hate. Hate is the absence of love. God is love.
This is Exodus 15:3. All right. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is His name. So how can you be all love and He's a man of war?
Because He's fighting. There's war inside all of us. That's how we resist temptation.
All right. So you said the Most High doesn't hate anything. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here we go. We're gonna go to Revelations 6. We'll go to Romans 6 and 9 and 6. Romans 9 and 13. All right.
Yeah.
For that which this is Romans 9 and 13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. All right. So the Most High hates a actual
That's
group
again.
of people.
This is the translations. These
Translation.
words. Yeah. These words.
All right,
They
so-
didn't. That word, hate. That's an idea. Like.
It's not an idea.
Yeah,
When you go into the Hebrew.
I mean, you look at the translations of the word hate, I guarantee you there's a disconnect between one going back from the English version into the Germanic
in
version,
Hebrew,
and
this
then
word,
again into the Latin
listen,
version.
in Hebrew, where you translated this Bible from, the word hate actually means hate. In
But
Greek,
but
the
it's
word
not
hate
going-
actually
it's not-
means hate. It means to have like perpetual hatred.
Yeah.
To hate something forever.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to continue this. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with God? Is God wrong for hating a certain group of people? Listen to this. God forbid. For he said to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So he going to have mercy, and he going to have compassion on whoever he chooses to, because he's the Most High.
Yeah.
So he does hate. I'm gonna give you more scriptures. I'm going to go to Proverbs 6 and 16. Because that's a big delusion. You see, she walked by saying the Most High is love. He's not love. People don't understand. He's a lot of things. All right, Proverbs 6 and 16. Listen to this. These 6 things doeth the Lord hate. Yea, 7 are an abomination to him. So the Most High has 6 things that he hates. Okay? A proud look. He hates people with a proud look. People that are proud. All right? A lying tongue. He hates people that say that are liars, deceivers. Like that man right there, a lying image of Christ.
Yeah.
All right? Deceiving image of Christ. A heart that does, oh my bad. And hands that shed innocent blood. So he can't stand hands that shed innocent blood. He hates it. All right? A heart that devises wicked imagination. He hates a heart that devises wicked imagination. People who think wicked. People who have these wicked ways of thinking that the Most High hates. All right? I'll tell you this. Feet that be swift to run into mission. So he hates people that are swift to run to mission. Swift to do bad things, but they don't know how to do good. All right? Listen to this. A false witness that speak of lies. He hates people that are false witnesses and speak lies. So we're going into multiple things that the Lord hates. All right, so the Most High does hate. You can't walk around saying God is love. That's ridiculous.
I don't think so. I think that when he says hatred, we don't really know what that means.
You don't know what hatred means?
Not in that sense. No.
In Hebrew,
I think that the way we're talking about hatred right now is different.
no, it's not. It's actually translated in Hebrew and Greek to the word English, hate.
Yeah, but the ideas are different.
What do you mean how different?
What that
You want me to
word.
pull up what Hebrew, in the Hebrew, what hate means? I got the concordance on. Pull it up for me. This is where they actually translated the Bible from the Hebrew and the Greek. So we're going to go to Proverbs 6 and 16. Exactly the scripture that we're talking about here. Alright, we're going to say hate. Alright, we're going to Proverbs 6 and 16. Alright, so these 6 things do what the Lord hate, what I was telling you. Now we're going to go to it in the Hebrew. A primitive root, all right, to hate, an enemy, a foe, to hate, odious, utterly, hate, enemies, foes, hateful. So it means the same thing.
Well,
That's
yeah,
why they
it's
translate
like
it
an
as
enemy.
hate, because in the Hebrew and in the Greek, it actually means to hate.
Well, no, I think it means more in the sense that he's opposed to it. It's not hatred like we're thinking like he doesn't want those people to suffer.
All right. So,
You know, it's a state of mind that causes suffering in itself, and that's
so you think
he
the Most High doesn't want people to suffer?
he allows it to happen. He has to, because it's what free will is.
There is no such thing as free will.
It's entirely free will. God did.
I'm finna prove it to you. All right, this is Isaiah 45 and 7. All right, you believe in the Bible, right?
Yeah.
All right, so you have to establish that. All right, so Isaiah 45 and 7. I form the light and create darkness. So the Most High makes light and he makes darkness. All right, listen to this. I make peace and create evil. So he makes the peace and he creates the evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. So he does all those things. The Most High does the good and he does the bad.
Well, by creating something good, you automatically, something bad automatically pops up out of it. It's just like if you create one side, you automatically create one side. That's
exactly. So this is like the Most High's movie.
Yeah.
So you can have people that are good.
And there's good and bad inside all of us, and that's where we're created in God's image. So there's good and bad inside.
So you still think you still can choose whatever you want to do, and it's free will.
Yeah. Well, free will, not in the choice that you can choose whether or not to have faith.
All right, but listen
you can
to
choose
this.
to whether your
I'm going to
actions.
prove to you out of the Bible there's no such thing as free will. All right, I just gave you one scripture, I'm going to give you another. Proverbs 20 and 24. man's goings are of the Lord. So man's goings, what you see people walking by here right now, they're of the Lord. The Most High ordained every single thing to happen. All right? How can a man then understand his own way? So how can you understand your own way and know and think you have a free will, making your own decisions? If the Lord, he's all man's goings are of the Lord. The Lord makes man do every single thing. There's nothing, you might think you're doing free will, but the Lord already knew what you're gonna do.
Okay, so in that sense, we are all trapped. That's basically like I am tied up against. I'm completely just tied up to a pole. Can't even move. Can't see anything. Nothing at all. Completely constrained for my entire life. I have free will in the sense that I can believe that God exists and that He ordained that.
Free will.
Well,
The Most High does
mental.
It's mentally you think you're doing things that you want to do, but the Lord already knew what you were going to do.
Exactly, but so you can choose to exercise free will and have faith that God wanted that to happen, or you can choose not to do that and just to say that it's
to believe in God, you have to believe that He's the creator. To believe in God, you have to know He does all things, like I just read to you. He does the good and the evil. So, like I'm telling you, if He does good and evil, how can you be having your own way? How can you do your own things? Let me ask you a question. You think people that go in and shoot up places and shoot up schools, do you not think in their mind that they actually thought that was the right thing to do?
When they're crazy, yeah.
So that's what I'm telling you. The Lord already ordained it to happen. There's nothing that you thinking that you can do that the Most High didn't already know you were gonna do.
I don't think that's entirely right.
I mean, I just read it to you. Either you can take it as a man's goal.
I think that free will is the choice that you can either decide to believe in God or to exercise faith, basically, or to ignore it.
All right, listen to this. This is Romans 9 and 19. All right. Thou would say, we're going to start at 18. Therefore hath He had mercy on whom He will have mercy, and whom He will harden. So the Most High is going to have mercy on whom He will have mercy, and on who He's going to punish, and on who He's going to destroy, on who He brings to life, and who He brings to death. All right. Therefore hath He mercy on my back. Verse 19. Thou wilt say then unto me, why doeth He yet find fault? For who hath resisted His will? So no one can resist the Most High's will. You can't resist His will. It's you talk about metaphors. This is a parable. All right, who can resist the Most High's will? It's a question that you already know the answer to. No one can resist the Most High's will, because when He wants something to be done, it's going to be done. So, like I said, you have a mental state of thinking that you're doing, but the Most High ordained all this time. The Most High ordained Him to walk by. The Most High ordained them to walk by. The Most High ordained you to stop here. There's nothing that you actually made a decision about. You just think mentally that you're making a decision, but the Most High has already planned it all out.
And I have the choice through free will to believe that God sent me here for a purpose, or to believe nothing at all, and just that I came here out of my own, just by happenstance or whatnot. It's mental. But
all right. But I want to get back on subject. All right, we got started on subject, but
I gotta go. I got a class at 10:30.
Well, the Israelites are the Israelites of the Bible. They're the so-called African American, Native American, and Mexican people today.
Yeah.
And God only came for them. He didn't come for everyone. And I was finna prove that to you. He said, I am not sent into the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And I'll read this last scripture. All right.
Okay.
And descendants of them. So it's not just them, it's the descendants of them. You have forefathers that go back to them. Those are the people Christ came for. I'm finna read Romans 9 and 3. All right, before you leave, this is the last scripture. All right, this is Paul speaking. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ for my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh. So he said the flesh, not just believing in Christ, not just believing in the Most High, but he said the flesh, the Israelites according to the Bible. All right, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law. Israelites were the only one given the law. All right. In the service of God. Israelites are the only ones can have the service of God out of the Bible. All right. In the promises. Now listen to this. Whose are the fathers, and of whom concerning the flesh, not just believing the flesh, Christ came, who is over all, God blessed forever. So those are who concerning the flesh Christ came for, the Israelites. That's why I wrote you in Matthew 15:24. He said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So is the Bible lying there? No. So what do you think about that? You still think anyone can believe in the Most High?
Yeah.
But he just said only Israelites can have the service of God.
I think Israelites in that term is people of the
Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
People that whoever chooses to align themselves with those people.
I mean, it's an actual bloodline. It's actually just like I said, fathers in the flesh. He didn't say spirit believing into it. He said, whose are the fathers in whom concerning the flesh Christ came. Now, I know you got to go, but I'm going to read this one last scripture. I know you got to go. But here we go. This is Joel 2:27. All right. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Lord your God, and none else. And my people shall never be ashamed. So, the Most High said, you shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Lord your God, and none else. So he's not the Lord of no one else except for Israel. So what do you have to say about that? Like, what do you think? I don't have a religion. I don't know the Most High deals with hate. So we're going to go to Proverbs 8:13. The fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride and arrogance, and the evil way. So the Most High tells you to hate evil, pride and arrogance, and the evil way, man. So, but he said the Most High doesn't hate. He said you don't deal with hate. But what does it say again? Proverbs 8:13. The fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride and arrogance, and the evil way. And the forked mouth do I hate. He doesn't love those things. He hates them. But he came up here, everyone saying God is love, all this nonsense. People don't know the Bible, man. They got their own vain way of thinking, man. But he a fool. Little does he know, man. He's a real fool. This is Proverbs 12:15. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he that hearkeneth unto counsel is wise, man. So he was right in his own eyes. All right. So you gotta be hearkening unto counsel, man. He's a fool because he's right in his own eyes. He doesn't know the real truth of the Lord, man. But he walked away. All right. This is verse 14. We'll go to 13. 13 and 13. Proverbs 13:13. Whosoever despiseth the word shall be destroyed. So these people that despise the word of the Bible, they're gonna be destroyed, man. There's no way around it. They despising the word, they're gonna be destroyed. Like the Scientologists that came up, he's gonna be destroyed. Like this dude right here that don't want to accept the Most High hated. He don't even know what actually is coming to him, man. All right. But he that feareth the commandment shall be rewarded. The law of the wise is a fountain of life, to depart from the snares of death, man. And that's what we out here doing, depart from the snares of death with the spirit of YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, HAMASHIACH, condemning these devils, not letting them tell them they got their own way of thinking, man. They're fools, man. We'll go to Proverbs 14:12. There is a way which seemeth right unto a man. He really thinking in his heart that seems right, man. He really thinking in his heart that God is love, that he's nothing else. All right? But the end thereof are the ways of death, man. He gonna be put to death. Thus saith the Lord, man. All right. Verse 15. The simple believeth every word, but the prudent man looketh well to his going, man. A wise man feareth and departeth from evil, but the fool rageth in his confidence. So he was very confident in what he believed in. He's a fool, man. A real fool, a walking fool. All right. So this man, like he said, the Most High don't hate, that he loves everything. He's justifying these wicked people. He's justifying people that do wicked and hateful and things that are worthy of death punishment, man. And he's justifying it. All right. This is 17 and 15. He that justifieth the wicked and he that condemneth the just, even they both are an abomination to the Lord. So he's an abomination to the Lord. You believe in this man right here? Yeah. This right here. Yeah, man. You think that's Christ? No. Without the horns? This what you think? You think that's Christ right there at the bottom? Bottom? You think this is Christ?
I don't know what you're looking at.
This one right here without
the horny dude.
You think that without the horns, do you think that's Christ?
You got a ring on it?
He got horns on it. You know this is the actual man. No, his name is Caesar Borgias. Alright? He had incest with his sister. All right, he had incest with his sister, and then he also killed his sister's husband to marry her. But that's the man that betrays Christ. That's the very man that betrays Christ. You want to hear what Christ actually looks like? The Bible? You believe in? You said you believe in the Bible, right?
Yeah, but I'll tell you what to do. Hold on. You look up something called the Shroud of Turin. Turin.
Yeah. All right, so I hear you. I'm going to show you what Christ looked like, and you tell me, is that the same picture? All right, I'm going to go out the Bible. I'm not going to go about shrouds and things like that. I'm going to go about the actual truth. All right, this is Revelations 1:1. All right, the revelation of Jesus Christ. So this is the revelation of Jesus Christ. What is the revelation? Yeah, the revealing. All right. So I'm going to go down to 1 and 13. And in the midst of 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot. So he had a garment down to the foot. Okay. And girt about the paps with a golden girdle. So he had a golden girdle on. All right. Now let's get into what he looks like. His head and his hairs were white like wool. So his hair was white and woolly. Do you think that's woolly hair right there?
Now, hold on now. You're talking about the glorified body of Jesus.
So
You ain't talking about his fleshly body.
So you think his fleshy body was different from his how? Do you think he changed color? He changed. His hair changed. The way his color changed.
No. You're taking things out of context.
All right. So was John seeing Christ in Revelations?
You're seeing the Son of Man, the Son of God.
Okay, so that's Christ, right? So he was seeing Christ in Revelation.
Name is Yeshua.
All right. I mean, that's your understanding. But listen to this. All right. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire. So you know, if you drink wine, Christ drank wine. The outside of his eyes was a flame of fire. He wasn't a drunk of the wine, but he drank wine moderately. All right. Now listen to this, because you say he don't get into color. You say he's a white man, right? Now listen. Caucasian. Now we finna listen. All right. In his feet like unto fine brass. Now what color is fine brass? This actual color. What color is fine brass? All right, his
Red and yellow.
so it's a goldish brown. So his feet were like unto fine brass. Now listen to this. His feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in the furnace. So you take that fine brass and then burn it in the furnace. What color is it gonna be? If you burn anything, what color is it gonna be? What color is it gonna be? Can't admit it, can't you? Why it hurt you so much for Christ to be black? Let me ask you that. You came up here saying Christ was Caucasian. That's what you came up here.
He's a Semite.
He's a, what is it? So you think the Jews up there today are the real Jews?
Yeah, well, there's 10 tribes scattered all over the world that are lost.
All right, there's 12 tribes actually. There's 12 tribes. There's 12 tribes in total. I'm just, I don't know my history. This is Revelation 21. This is Revelation 21 and 12. And this is heaven. And a wall great and high, and had 12 gates. And at the gates 12 angels, and the names written thereon were the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. So it had 12 tribes. So you telling the Most High added 2 tribes? Man, listen to this, man. Like I'm telling you, this is Revelations 2 and 9. All right, I'm gonna get to y'all, brothers.
That's going back. That quotation from Revelation is going back to the book of Daniel.
What quotation? It's Daniel 10, and he says he also is a black man.
It actually does. I've actually read it. It actually does.
You actually
I've read it myself.
Let me put you this way. You actually think you actually think your people were in Israel, one of the hottest places in the earth. You really think that you walk Israel and you have to have sunscreen just to go out on the beach? You think you actually was in the hot, bearing sun of Israel?
I said he was a Semite. You know what a Semite is?
What is a Semite?
Semite is the children that were born to Abraham. He was a seed of Shem. You heard of Shem?
No.
Three sons of Noah.
No, he was born through Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You have no knowledge or understanding, man.
I have no knowledge.
He came from the seed of David. You don't even know what you're talking about. You're just saying random things, man. This is Revelation 2:9. The people you think are the Jews today aren't the real Jews. All right? I know thy works in tribulation, in poverty. So he says he knows the real Jews are going through works and tribulation and poverty. They're not the richest people on the earth.
Can I get your information?
Oh yeah. I got a YouTube called the Flame of Fire Israel. He can't stand.
Where does everybody meet at?
Well, I'm an Israelite.
I know
Israelite
that.
according to the Bible. This is where I meet at.
So where does everybody else meet at? Where's the school?
I mean,
Camp.
there's multiple camps, you know what I'm saying, but not really none around here. Not really none around here. That's why I had to start something up, because not really none around here. I'm finna write down my YouTube. Got my pen in here. You got your phone right now?
It's on.
Yeah.
It's on.
Oh, okay.
It's on.
You can follow my YouTube channel too, but I wanted to break down to y'all because I had to get rid of that devil, man. He don't even know what he's talking about, man. I'm finna go.
What is it?
Let's go to YouTube and go to Flame and Fire Israel. All right.
Flaming Fire Israel.
You got to scroll down a little bit. All right. Something. I'm glad you came back.
I got one final thing to say to you, bro. We look up the Shroud of Turin, Google it, and you can see the image.
His hairs were white like wool. Is that woolly hair, man? You lost, man. You don't know the Bible.
Man, I've been reading the Bible for 40
And you ain't
years.
got not one bit of understanding.
You ain't even 40 years old. I've been reading it for 40 years.
We don't care about age. The Most High doesn't care about age. You got all that age and you don't know a damn thing. What I'm out here for is y'all, man. I'm out here telling y'all the children of Israel. Y'all are God's chosen people according to the Bible. Y'all not no Negro. Y'all ain't African American. African American comes from two white men. Scipio Africanus is what they named Africa after. That's a Roman general. And Americo Vespucci is an Italian explorer where they named America from. All right. So our people, we're taught that our history started as slavery, but our history didn't start as slavery, and we're not Africans. I mean, Israel is a part of Africa, but we're not considered Africans. All right, we weren't sold by our own people. We were sold from the native people of Africa. When our people fled from Israel, God's chosen people fled into Africa, and they sold us because we weren't their people. All right, we weren't sold by your own. What sense does that make? But that's what they expected us to believe. All right, they got their different sects. You could be from Rome or Greek, Italian, but when it comes to us, we just all black. We just all the same. It's the difference between us. I'm going to show y'all that y'all are God's chosen people. Your forefathers refused to listen to God, and this is what happened to him. That man right there, he's trying to say that Christ was a Semite. Christ was a Jew, and he doesn't know what Jews will look like. He doesn't know anything about the truth. I'm going to read out the Bible. This is Deuteronomy 28:15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command you this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So our forefathers didn't listen to the Lord, and these curses came upon us and overtook us. All right, because we didn't listen, and our forefathers were the chosen people. All right, now listen to this. This is Deuteronomy 28:46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. So these curses is how you gonna know who you actually are. This is the sign to know who you are, to know your identity. All right, this is Deuteronomy 28:68. All right, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again. So we're gonna go into Egypt again. Now, what is Egypt? What does Egypt represent? Slavery, man. It's slavery. That's what it represents. This for the, people think I'm making up something. We'll go to Deuteronomy 6:12. Then beware lest thou forget the Lord which brought thee forth out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage. Bondage means slavery. Egypt represents the house of bondage. All right. So we're gonna go to Deuteronomy 28:68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again. So we're gonna go into slavery again. Now listen to this. We're gonna go. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. We're gonna go into Egypt, slavery again, with ships. This is applied to your people. All right. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. We're not gonna see our homeland Israel again, because you know why? We're gonna be in America. So the people up there in Israel right now, claiming they're the Israelites, claiming they're the Jews, they aren't the real Jews. All right, these curses on a part of them. All right, and there you should be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen. We're gonna be sold unto our enemies for slave man and slave woman. All right,
No one shall buy you.
and no man shall buy you. So no, when that buy means redeem, which means no one's gonna redeem us out of the slavery. No one's gonna save us from out of slavery. We're still in America today. We're still here today. All right, so we're gonna go to more scriptures to let y'all know, man. Deuteronomy 28:46. All right. We started at 48. Therefore shall thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he destroy thee. So you see that picture right there, they put yokes of iron on our neck. You seen any pictures of slavery? They actually put yokes of iron on our neck until we were destroyed. Like if you put you see that pole right there, if you put a dog on a pole right there, leave him on the pole, he's gonna be trying to get out the first couple of days. He might try to get out still like after a month. But after a month or two, he ain't gonna go nowhere. You can take the leash off of him, he gonna still be sitting there because he was used to that. And that's what they did to our people. They killed our wise people. They killed our people that knew who they were. And they rose up the kids. And they told us, look here, boy, that's your savior right there. And he looks like me. That's what they told us, all right? And that's why people have this perception that this book is for the white man, when this book is not. This book is your history, all right? But if you want to hide something from us, what you got to do? Put it in the damn book. Because we ain't know exactly, all right? And the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far. This is verse 49. And the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. All right, so this is swift as the eagle flieth. Now, what does that eagle represent? Y'all have freedom. Well, yeah, that's what America says, right? But it really doesn't represent freedom. An eagle is a prey that they come in, they wait until it dies, and then they come in and just get the rest of it, eat it all up. All right, so that's what an eagle represents. Now, you look on the back of your dollar, what do you see? An eagle. All right, you go to the you know the Roman Empire. Eagle.
Was it the 7 tribes? Yeah. It's a 7-headed dragon.
Yeah.
America, Rome, Europe, Russia.
Germany. They also what Hitler had. What was this symbol? Eagle too. All right, so he's telling you who these people are. All right. This is verse 50. And a nation of fierce countenance which shall not regard the person of thy old, nor show favor to the young. That's what they did to our babies right there, man. They fed them to alligators. But what they tell us, they want us to forget it. Forget about slavery. But we got to remember 9/11. We remember 9/11 and remember all their holidays where a couple thousand people died. And when it comes to our people, forget about it. All right, what's up, brother? What's up? All right, this is verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, our people used to be very delicate people, loving people. All right, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother. So his eyes gonna be evil toward his brother. That's why we got so much killing in the street. That's why we got so much people that go against each other constantly.
Own kind.
A hatred of our own kind. When we don't even know we God's chosen people. If you knew that you was God's chosen people, you wouldn't even think about killing your brother. You wouldn't think about it. But when the so-called white man shoot us down in the streets and kill us dead, we run from the cops. We run from the cops. We take off from them. But when it comes to our own people, you see them wearing a different color. They gun them down the streets. Y'all disagree on something minor over a girl, and a man dead. That's how it is, man. All right. Exactly. And toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. So that's why we leave our children, man. The Most High is giving these curses so we know who we are. The Jewish man ain't going through this. That's why they call him Jewish. If I was to call you childish, what am I calling you?
Something like
acting like a child, right? Something like they're acting like they're Jews. They know they're not the Jews, man. They know these scriptures don't pertain to them. And they know who we are. That's why they keep us down in this state. That's why they keep us on our phones. That's why they keep us in our jobs. That's why they keep us constantly doing stuff, because they don't want us to figure out who we actually are. Because they know if we figure out we God's chosen people, they don't know what because they see me out here. These people know, they know when they start seeing the Israelites out here that the Most High is coming back, man. And the Most High came and made y'all stop here, man. There's nothing you could have decided. I'm going to read that too after that. After I get this. This is verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people. So he scattered us among all people. So we fled, like I was telling you, we fled from Israel, all right, into Africa and then all over the world because we were scattered among the world, but majority went into Western Africa. And we went into Western Africa, and the Africans that were native to there, they sold us because they didn't want us there. All right, they knew we were God's chosen people. They're like, man, what? We don't want these people here. So they got together with the so-called white man. He has the actual biblical name, which is Esau, Edom. He's not. You won't find white, black, none of those names in the Bible. These nations have actual names. The African man, they come from Ham. All right, they're not our people. If you can't tell, you don't see no African LeBron.
I thought after 400 years, they'll be forgiven for what they did, and they'll go back, and they can join us or something.
Yeah, that's what a lot of. I'm gonna get on that too if you stay long enough with it. But that's what a lot of people think. But no, the Most High has not forgave them for what they did. All right, the Most High has a perpetual hatred for these nations that sold his chosen people. All right, so listen to this. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth, even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. Now that wood represents Christianity, man. People, they serve the cross, they don't even know they keep the cross on them. Y'all know that actually has nothing to do with the Bible. The Most High doesn't command you to wear crosses. The Most High didn't tell you nothing about that because that symbol is a lowercase t, and it represents a deity or a false god named Tammuz.
I thought it was an insult, but they keep them on there as far as torture.
Yeah.
They put them on there and let them die.
Yeah, see, but the actual symbol of the cross is a lowercase t, and it represents Tammuz. You can look it up. What I'm telling you. It represents Egyptian, one of their false gods. Saying,
whatever it's called.
Yeah, his name, the specific cross name is Tammuz. In Roman records, if you go back to Roman records, they tell you what they crucified people, and it was most likely an X or a stake in the ground. All right, so they never put a lowercase t to hang on. That's something that was made up. All right, so let me continue this. No, y'all gotta go.
I've been trying to beat you for a while. I'm just coming through.
That's great, man.
They never was right. They
no time. Exactly.
We know.
They never know.
Like I said, most of our black they so lost.
So lost, man. They're bugged out. Right? Exactly. And that stone, when I tell you that wood and that stone, our people, they see Kevin Gates, they see all these people, and they want to be a Muslim. They want to go be a Muslim. And that's another way they're taking us away. Because he said that we're going to serve stone. If you're a Muslim, you're going to make the pilgrimage to Mecca once in your life. And you go out there and serve that stone, kiss the stone, and worship the stone. Which that stone can't do nothing. It's dead. It's a damn rock. Like you said. But listen to this. All right, this goes back to what you said. This is verse 65. And among these nations shall thou find no ease. Neither shall the soul of thy foot have rest. That's why people gotta constantly work. That's why we don't never find no ease. We get killed in the streets. We don't ever get a verdict on our side. We don't ever get actual justice. We get killed. We get murdered. We never have no peace. And we always gotta work, man. We gotta work just to get by. All right. By these other people, they inherit millions. They come into this world inheriting millions. When our people was in the same place when we got over this, man. The same place. All right? But the Lord shall give thee a trembling of heart and failing of eyes and sorrow of mind. So that's what you was talking about, how people so bugged out. And they bugged out, they crazy as hell. They don't want to listen to nobody because the Most High gave them a sorrow of mind. They don't even understand what's going around them. And that's because the Most High put these curses on our people, man.
So let me ask you this thing. I'm not, So, with everybody on the move back after, which a lot of blacks going back after the move, is that the sign that they're coming up and waking up?
You said going back to the continent of Africa?
Right. It's like a big thing. Everybody doing it. Like.
See, that's where a lot of people going off at, man. You go to Africa, you try to go to the tribes, they know who we are. They know, unlike us, they have actual remembrance.
We know me, right? We in Romania last year.
Look.
And Romania, soldiers.
Look.
The same.
It's crazy.
They know who we are. It's crazy.
Exactly, man. You go into Russia, all those places, they don't have that Christ like that. They have a black man. You go to Russia, all these other places, they have the original depiction of Christ because they know what he looked like. So like I was telling you, man, they don't want us to know who we are, man. That's why I like and the curses are helping it out even more with the sorrow of mind. But our people, like I said, they want to go into Africa, but you try to go to Africa and try to join their tribe. They will not deal with you. They is not going to let you join their tribe unless you have a specific lineage. They is not dealing with you, but everybody they want to go back to Africa. You go back to Africa, them people know who we are. They call us cowards for being slaves. They call us cowards for being enslaved and going through what we went through. Those people know who we are, and we know we're not the same as them. You don't see no African LeBron James dunking and doing what we do because they're not the same as us. They're a lot skinnier. They're a lot tribal with the way they move. They're a lot more less social for people outside of their people. They're more family oriented and more they're real smart people, a lot of them. But like I was saying, man,
they be shaped different, look different.
Yeah, exactly. You don't see my point is you don't see Africans doing the things that we do in music, sports, and creativity. We have something that's unheard of because the Most High says we have a zeal of God. All right, and that's that zeal of God that we have because we got the power with us. All right, listen to this. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have none assurance of thy life. So a lot of people that going around, they chilling, but damn, Trump is president right now, man. You seen that message that came across your phone 2 days ago, at 2:18, that presidential alert?
Yeah.
One day this shit's gonna be real. One day it's gonna.
I'm over the
Thanks for iPhones.
It should have went through. I guess you didn't get something.
What it say?
One day it's gonna be a real alert. It came through beaming saying, "Oh, it's a presidential alert," but there's no action needed because it was a test. But one day it's gonna be something real. It's gonna be something real deal. All right. But listen to this. Listen. I'm gonna get this for you. You said, I forgot what was the question you asked me. You said something earlier. I want to address that.
You talking about everybody on the move back Africa?
No, not that part. You said something before that.
About Africans being able to be part of the tribe after three, 4 generations.
Oh, yeah, that's it. This one. All right, this one.
So are you planning on opening up a school down here?
Oh, this is the start, man. This is the start. This is the very beginning. You know what I'm saying? I've been out here, increasing in knowledge, doing the real work. Now people don't receive out here, man. But, the Spirit got me out here. I barely used to read, man. I didn't do nothing like this. But the Spirit of the Most High God got me to do this, man. And His name ain't God.
I know, dude.
Exactly.
You don't do it.
It's crazy. And His name ain't God.
I know.
His name ain't God, and His name ain't Jesus. God actually, His name is YAHAWAH. Alright? YAHAWAH is the name of God, and His son is YAHAWASHI. Alright? You don't tell anybody that because it's not supposed to, but I tell my people. Alright? To understand the true names, you gotta pray in those names because those are the true names. This in the scriptures. This is the Lord's name in Paleo Hebrew right here. It's the Lord's name in Paleo Hebrew. And this is Christ's name in Paleo Hebrew. Alright, so like I said, check me out. Don't believe everything I'm saying, man. Do some research. Alright, I want to get hold on. I'm gonna get that one scripture for you, man. Before you leave, I know you want.
I'm glad to see people in our area. I'm slack. I'm slack.
I got you. I'm gonna get that for you right now. Right here, this Amos. Alright, so like you said that the most. You said that the Most High forgive them for that, right? It's Amos 1:6. Alright. Amos 1:6. Alright. So this is for Edom, the so-called white man. This is what the Lord has to say about them. Alright? You already know this is happening there. Here we go. This is verse Amos 1:9. Thus saith the Lord. Amos 1:11. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually. That means forever. They gonna forever hate us, man. That's why these people literally thought racism was over. They gonna forever. Then Trump came along. They shocked. Man, they gonna forever hate us, man. All right, listen to this. Exactly. And they did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and kept his wrath forever. They kept their wrath forever. They fed our babies to alligators. They did all these horrible things, and they still do. That's why they got to make America great again. What y'all think that stands for? They wanted to go back to where they didn't have to be politically correct, where they didn't have to, where they could just say niggas, where they could just hang us on trees, call us. That's why they call us monkeys, man, because our people hung on trees. All right, but that's for Edom now. Let me get All right, this is verse 9. And thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Tyrus, and for 4, this is Tyrus. That's for the people who sold us, those Africans down there that sold us. All right. I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they delivered up the whole captivity to Edom, and remembered not the brotherly covenant. So they conspired together with the white man to sell us, man. They delivered up our people. Like I don't understand. The white man is our brother, but he sold our brother. He sold his birthright to us. Right? So God's chosen people, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right, now let me read this for y'all. I know y'all gotta read it. This is Joel 2:27. All right. So everybody be like, God is the God of everyone. He's not the God of everyone. This is the dagger for him, man. This is Joel 2:27. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Lord your God, and none else. And my people shall never be ashamed. So we are God's people. He doesn't deal with these other people. He's never dealt with them.
Never heard that.
He's never actually had no ever thought for them, man. Because they were evil people. All right, from the Most High has ordained them to death from the beginning. Now let me read this to you. All right, and this is another thing. This is the King James 1611 Bible. But a lot of people don't know they took 14 books out of the Bible, all right, the Apocrypha. And I got this in. This is the 1611 Bible before the Renaissance era, before the so-called Enlightenment era, where they took these books out, and also when they made that man white like that. So before that, they had Caesar Borgia. Yeah. So they took these books out at the same time. So this is the original Bible with it all in there. So I mean, you can have the second Apocrypha too with it. It's a lot cheaper, but like I said, I'd rather just have it all together. But here we go. This is 2nd Ezra 6:54, and this is why they took it out. Because it's so much about us and about end times that they couldn't keep it in, man. They couldn't keep it in. Because this is a dagger for them. Alright? This is 2nd Ezra 6:54. And after these, Adam, also whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures. So Adam named all the creatures, alright? Because that's what a lot of people be like. They be like, well, we all come from Adam, so how could God hate us too? How could God not deal with us? Alright? And after these, Adam, also whom thou madest the Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all. So everyone comes from Adam, right? And the people also whom thou hast chosen. So we have the chosen people that comes from Adam, which is us, alright? As for the other people, which also come of Adam, I'm gonna jump up to 55. Actually, skip the verse. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sake. So he made this whole world for our sake. He didn't make it for these other people's sake. Now listen to this. As for the other people, so everyone else is not his chosen people. As for the other people which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing. They are nothing, man, to the Lord. But be like unto spittle. They're like spit to the Lord. Alright? That has likened the abundance of them, the drop that fallen from the vessel. So if you had a big bucket of water and you dropped a little bit out of it, you ain't gonna care about that. So it's the same way the Most High thinks about these other nations. Alright? Let me read this. And now, O Lord, behold these heathen, which have ever been reputed as nothing. They know they're nothing. They read these scriptures. Have began to be lords over us and to devour us. They began to be lords over us and to devour us, man. And to kill us and to put our people down. Alright? But we thy people whom thou hast called thy firstborn, Jacob, were his firstborn, the only begotten, and the fervent lover are given into the hands. So that goes back to Deuteronomy 28 chapter, where he gave us to the hands, where we went into slavery on ships, where we went into their hands. Alright? If the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure? So that's why we endure this long, man. You gotta keep these laws, statutes, commandments, and come back to the Most High. You gotta do all the commandments. You can't just keep some of them. Like there's more than 10 commandments. There's 613 commandments in the Bible. Alright, and it's completely for you. Alright, so you might be like, well, I got fringes on there that's a commandment. I got all these things from the Lord. Like, let me read this real quick. I know y'all gotta go. I'm Cody. I do this with everybody. I'm gonna let y'all go. Numbers 35. Alright, this is Numbers 15 and 37. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they make fringes in the borders of their garments. That's what I got on. Throughout their generations, so it never will stop. We're supposed to have fringes on our garments throughout our generations, alright? And they shall put upon the fringe of the borders of a ribbon of blue. So that's why I got this ribbon of blue right here, because that's a commandment of the Lord, alright? And it shall be unto you for a friend that ye shall look upon it and remember all the commandments of the Lord and do them, and that ye seek not after your own heart and your own eyes after which you used to go a whoring, that ye may remember and do all my commandments and be holy unto your God. I am the Lord your God. He's making it obvious that he's the Lord your God. He's not the God of everyone. He's never been the God of everyone. He's the God of Israel. You find Israel in this Bible over 3,000 or 4,000 times. You won't find Protestant. You won't find Baptist. You won't find Catholic. You don't find it in the Bible. You won't find religion in the Bible because it's for our people. It's not a religion. It's a bloodline. All right, that's what they don't understand. Now, this is literally the last scripture. I know I gotta get stuck on. This is the last one right here. Really the last one right here. This is Romans 9 and 3. I'm gonna leave y'all off with this. All right, this is Paul's speaking. For I wish that myself were accursed with Christ, but my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh. He said he wished that he could do it or went through what Christ went through for his brethren, his kinsmen according to the flesh. Not according to just believing, not according to just doing and thinking you got a connection with God, but he said his kinsmen according to the flesh because he knows what we went through. All right? Who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law. Israelites were the only ones giving the law. Like if I gave you a letter right now and it was specifically to y'all, would y'all then go out and apply it to the whole world and say this is for everyone? And that's what they did with the Bible. That's exactly what they did. All right? Who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption. They the only ones that can be adopted. So the so-called Gentiles are Israelites. In the glory, in the covenants, in the giving of the law. That's crazy. In the giving of the law, and listen to this, in the service of God. So Israelites are the only ones that can have the service of God. So you got all these other nations saying they had a dream about God and all. Man, it's dreams, it's vain dreams. Israelites are the only ones that can have the service of God. You come back to these laws and commandments, you come back to your actual heritage, you'll see how things work out for you, man. You're gonna fall out with a lot of people, I'll tell you that now. Because it comes to you. You're gonna fall out because you ain't gonna be celebrating Christmas no more. You ain't gonna be celebrating all these days that are actually evil to the Lord, man. Those are pagan holidays. Easter, it's a pagan holiday. Birthdays, man. You're not supposed to celebrate birthdays. I had to get into all the scriptures. I know y'all ain't got time like that. But I can get into those too. But now listen to this. Whose are the fathers in the point concerning the flesh? Notice he said fathers. It's a bloodline. All our fathers. Alright? Of whom concerning the flesh, Christ came. Christ only came for the Israelites. He didn't come for everyone. Alright? But they say Christ died for everyone. He never came for everyone. That was never his mission. That was never what he wanted to do. Alright? This is Matthew 15 and 24 real quick. But this is Christ speaking. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So he said, don't you think for a second I was sent to any of these other people. I was only sent for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. I was only sent for my people. That's why he said in Matthew 1 and 21, Matthew 1 and 21, where it says this. And he shall bring forth a son, and that shall call his name Jesus. For he shall save his people from their sins. That's possessive, man. That's not the whole world. That's not the whole world, man. But like I said, man, check out that YouTube, man. Y'all are Israelites according to the Bible. Y'all not African Americans, black, Spics, whatever they call you, whatever they want to call you. Y'all not none of that, man. All right, so that's in the Bible too about Proverbs and speech. That's why they call us niggas. That's why they call us all these things.
So the camp, the school. Don't nobody. I heard somebody had a school.
You might have to do some research. I think I actually did hear about what you. I think it's ISU or something like that. But I don't know. I ain't seen nothing about that. But like I said, you definitely need to get.
ISU.
I heard something like that. I don't want to put my word onto it, but I heard something like that. But like I said, I don't see nobody else out here, man. I can be honest with you. I be at Anderson too. You ever went to Anderson? It's right down here on this. It's like 2 exits down. I'll be down there too. And down here, I'll be right here every Saturday, every Friday sundown, and I'll be here tomorrow at around about like 3 or 4 o'clock every single Saturday. And every Friday and sundown. Like I said, man, I love to teach y'all, man. Wake up my people, man. That's what we need to be in, man.
I mean, hit me up, man. We definitely. I mean, if it's a school or something, we get her.
Oh yeah.
Hey, but man, Ain't no school. So I'm like, what?
Exactly, but this is school. This is the church right here. This is what a lot of people don't understand. You don't got to be in a building to go to church. You ain't got a building to go to school. I just told y'all a lot of things that happened there. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times you don't have the infrastructure with this because it's the truth. The truth is not going to be broad. It's not the broad way. It's a straight way. It's a narrow way. All right. So the truth, everyone ain't going to be in the truth. It's not meant for everyone, like I said. But like I said, man, you can catch me here for a fact. Every Friday, sundown, and Saturday, about 2 to like about 10. So I'll be here, man. All right. All praises to y'all, though, man. Y'all Israelites, man. All right. All right. You're Israelite. Oh yeah, Shalom, brother.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm out here for you, man. Oh yeah, out here with the, the normal stuff.
Yeah.
Trying to get people to keep the commandments, man.
Yeah.
You been trying to start to keep the commandments?
I'm keeping the commandments, man. But even with the commandments, man, we gotta know a lot of folks turn away from the Messiah, man.
You got a bunch of Old Testament Israelites out there, man.
Yeah.
But they don't turn away from the building block. They can't even get to the kingdom without YAHAWASHI. They can't get to the kingdom without Christ. But like I was telling you, you know what I'm saying? I got the scripture for you. Numbers.
How old are you? If you don't mind me asking?
21 actually. Yeah, man. 21 out here speaking.
Where your brothers at, man?
You be my guest. You gotta be solo out here sometimes. Do the works, man. A lot of people, especially around here, man, it ain't deep like in some other areas, big
tell me
cities.
exactly like how you believe as an Israelite. What are you? Who are you?
Who am I? You and I are God's chosen people according to the Bible.
Okay.
We're the only one that went through these curses. We're the only one that went through these things. We're the only ones that went through the actual curses of the Bible. And those people that saying they're Jews right now aren't the true Jews.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
They convert, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
From Khazaria, Russia. This number is 15 and 37. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they make the fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations, and that they put upon the fringe a borders of a ribbon of blue. And they shall be upon you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it, and remember all the commandments of the Lord, and do them, and that you seek not only after your own heart and your own eyes, after which you used to go hard. So, you know what I'm saying, brother? You know what I'm saying? That's one of the commandments. You gotta get fringes, man. You gotta do those things, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't tarry to turn to the Lord. You know? Yeah. It's hard at first, but you know what I'm saying?
Let me try to break something down to you, bro. And I mean, I believe that in the statute, we should follow the statute, laws, and commandments.
Yeah.
However, let me explain something to you. You do realize that when how everything started, as far as we were in the wilderness one time, after the story goes in the Bible, right?
Yeah.
Moses eventually, but before we got to the wilderness, God came to Moses in a burning bush. The Most High came to, YAHAWAH. I know him as YAHAWAH. He came to Moses as a burning bush, and he did what he did. He took the Pharaoh. Hear me out for a minute. But see, what you got to understand is that I have come to research, and I'm with GOCC. You know what I'm saying? We Hebrews, but we know that what happened was that when we went through the wilderness, or when we all got freed and Pharaoh finally let us go, because God probably, he went through all the plagues and whatnot.
We went to the wilderness afterwards,
so while we were going through the wilderness, who was over the whole camp at first? It was Moses. And Moses was coming strictly from YAHAWAH. So YAHAWAH was giving him the 10 Commandments, he was giving him, and he was following.
Let me ask you
what happened, hold on, let me tell you what happened. What happened and messed it up is that, Moses' dad eventually came to the camp. You remember this part of the story? When Moses' dad found him. And when he found him, I'll take you to the scriptures if you need that, but when he found him, he said, look, Moses, it's not right. All these people are coming to you for your advice and for you to counsel them and for you to help them. You have got to. And this is where the man part came in with some of the statutes and some of the laws that we were told. It came from that idea. And see, it didn't come from YAHAWAH.
All right.
This didn't come directly from YAHAWAH like the 10 Commandments. Some of them statutes and the laws came from what man do. That's what Christ was against. That's what the Messiah was against when he said, y'all are the tradition. Because see, they started going under the man's rule and law. So some of those.
You still believe in Christ, right?
Yes.
Right,
but
so
I'm a heart, and I mean, but what I'm trying to say is, the fringes, don't get me wrong, they show loyalty and they show honor and glory to the Most High, and that you know who you are, and that you following the laws. But you got to remember those laws that come from that.
So you saying the Mosaic laws?
I'm talking about the laws and the statutes.
The Mosaic laws are more of a rich, or like a, you know, like a What you're trying to say? The Mosaic laws are more like you saying my fringes are just like a thing to do. Or showing your
it was something that was actually in tradition amongst the Israelite
so it was a tradition.
Around that time. So it was not even a tradition, it was something that men came up with after Moses. At first he was only going with God, and he was only going with the Most High. And then eventually his father, and I'll find that part in the scripture that tells you this, his father came along and seen what he was doing. He was very proud of him, that God had gave him such a big mission. But then he put the man-made part in and said, Moses, you can't keep ruling all these people. You got to get your command. You got to get your counsel. Like,
so you keep
10
the
men, 10 kings. I keep the 10 commandments.
So what about the other 613? You just said those are traditions.
I don't. I say that the thing that it tells you in the word that we believe in is that in order to make it into His greatness, in order to conquer at the end of life, you have to do but two things, and that is to keep the 10 commandments. And love God with all thy heart.
10 commandments are all of them.
It's only 10 commandments.
It's only 10 commandments.
The 10 commandments that YAHAWAH gave.
I'm gonna give you this. Look, this is John 5 and 45. All right. So you said you believe in Christ, right? Yeah. All right. So listen to this. What you call Christ?
I call Christ Yeshua.
Yeshua. All right. This is John 5 and 45. Do not think that I will accuse you to the Father. There is one that accuseth you, even Moses, in whom ye trust. For had you believed in Moses, you would have believed in me, for he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how shall you believe my words? So, what the Most High said, if you don't believe Moses' writings, how you gonna believe in Christ? It's required to believe in his writings, to believe in the Old Testament, to believe in his laws, to believe in those things, because he spoke of Christ. All right, he actually had a prophecy of Christ. All right, so you have to believe in all the Mosaic laws. All right, there's, like you say, the Most High tells you to do all the commandments. He never says do 10 of the commandments.
But what does Christ say?
What does Christ say?
Yeah, read what Christ says about it. Because Christ says that if you love me, keep my commandments and honor the Sabbath. You know what I'm saying? Which is, we all know to be on Saturday. So me and my brothers, we do Shabbat. And you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I'm gonna hang out with them tomorrow. We have our Shabbat early. So we try to keep somewhat of the law. But what I even tell my brothers is that I feel the way I just told you is that a lot of those 613 laws, as you so intelligently pointed out, are not necessarily given down from the Most High, which is the one that what matters.
So that
Moses man was getting in it when we started doing all of that.
My question to you was when Moses went up to the mountain, did you think he only received the 10 commandments? Or do you think he received multiple commandments of the Lord and multiple he's seen the end times, actually, in those things. So he was shown vision. So you have to understand that Most High was a vessel for the Lord. So if he's telling you to keep these things and make it throughout your generations, and it's a law, so you remember the commandments, you don't think you should do those things? I'm just asking. And another question is I got for you. I don't mean to get off topic, but do you know what the word YAHAWAH means? What does it mean?
YAHAWAH means I am that I am.
I am that I am. So,
but listen, that's elementary right there. What I'm saying, like, and regardless of what you're saying, is that I believe, man, you got to know that. Think about this: when God was with us, when YAHAWAH, before we even had Saul the first king, and David the second. Before we even chose the king, guess who was over us as a people? Who was over us as a people? It was YAHAWAH himself. Jesus, Yeshua himself, the Christ himself, because they was all, with us, with the light. Like, they kept the light in front of us, kept the darkness, so that the Pharaoh couldn't get us. Like, all those miracles, God was actually with us at the time in the spirit, guiding over us. And then we chose a king. So see, we started getting man-made, and then see, now this is what I'm trying to get you to see. How do you think it's possible for us to follow the 10 Commandments and the 613 statutes, laws, and commandments.
It's not,
the Mosaic.
it's
Now,
not
how
more,
can we do this? Listen.
It's not more of an impossible thing. It's more
no,
of a
but I'm saying, how can we do this? What I'm trying to point out to you is that it's even when the Spirit was roaming over us, and it was all of us in the wilderness, we couldn't do it. And we kept failing. Think about what I'm saying. And that's why, see, the law itself, it puts you in bondage, bro. You have to believe. That's why you have to break it down. That's what YAHAWAH is. YAHAWAH is the way out.
So you
because
saying
we can't, by the law, we are dead.
We're dead.
By the law, we are dead.
Listen to this. I'm going to read the last page of the Bible. Now listen to this. Read the last page of the Bible.
If you change it,
it's Revelations 22 and 14. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life and may enter into the thoroughfare of the city. For without are dogs, he calls them dogs, and sorcerers, and whoremongers, and murderers, and idolaters, and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie. So if I go to the last page of the Bible,
do you have a strong concordance here?
Oh, I got it on my phone.
If you look up, what did you just read now when you were saying?
Revelations 22 and Revelations.
And the commandments. Look up commandments in the strong concordance.
22 and 14.
And you will see what it says. Strong. The commandments are basically the thing, the 10 commandments that he wrote on a tablet, 2 tablets at first, and then 1 tablet.
Yeah.
Because he had broken them the first time, so he made them again. But those are the commandments he's speaking of in that verse you just spoke. Not all the other statutes and laws. I told you those are man-made. They was given down when Moses gave rights over everybody and started making kings and people over people. And you had councils. That's where the government and the world that we now live in came from. So Moses meant good. Like, just like, remember when Christ came back and changed a lot of Moses' laws. Moses said an eye for an eye or a tooth for a tooth. And Christ said turn the other cheek. And then they was like, well, why did Moses command us to be like this? Or, you know, he was like, because the Most High, my Father, knew that they were too hard-hearted. They would not be able to take it. So they were so worldly, they couldn't understand that spiritual thing.
That's what Christ came for, to fulfill that sacrificial law, so we don't get put to death. And we don't do those things. So, but you still got to keep the laws.
Christ is the law now. Christ is not the law.
Listen to
Christ is the
this
only
Christ,
way.
you want to give me Christ speaking, right?
Yeah,
so you would agree that Moses was a prophet, right?
Yes.
All right. Now Matthew 5 and 17. Think not that I come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. So he said, think not that I come to destroy the law or the prophets. Moses was a prophet, right? Yeah. And he told the commandments. So he said, think not that I come to destroy those prophets and what they taught. All right? Now listen to this. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled. Has everything been fulfilled? Has Christ came back yet?
No.
So you got to keep the law. You got to keep it. Now listen to this. I know you got something you gonna pull. Read this. This is 19. Whosoever therefore shall break one of the least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. For I say unto you, that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, ye shall not one enter into the kingdom of heaven.
Let me tell you about the scribes and Pharisees. They kept the laws and statutes. They were the upholders of that. YAHAWAH was against it. He was like, you guys, because you look the part and you play the part, but your heart is so far from it.
He just said, think not that I come to destroy the law or the prophets. Moses was a prophet. He said you have to keep those laws. So he said, think not that I come to destroy that. And he said, for verily I say unto you, to verily I say unto you, to heaven and earth pass, heaven and earth has it passed, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law. And whosoever therefore shall break one of the least commandments, one of the least ones, one of the things people don't say is too much, one of the least commandments, all right? And shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. He's going to be called the least in the kingdom of heaven, man. So you have to remember that, man. So you don't want to teach men not to keep the commandments. You got to be real careful with it. You know
I'm not saying that.
But you're saying keep 10
specific. Don't keep the commandments, because you got to remember, I'm telling you, in the Bible, if you look up in the strong concordance, the commandments are specifically the ones that was given in the mountain. When they were in the mountain and he came down glowing and all that. That's when those commandments that was on that tablet is what they speak of.
So
in the
did
Bible.
Christ teach a new
the
commandment?
Statutes and the laws were of the Old Testament.
Did Christ teach a new commandment?
Christ said, follow No, he taught the same commandments
The same.
as his father.
So you either
But the commandments, I'm saying you don't understand. I'm saying, why do you think there's 3 words? It's statutes, laws, and commandments.
Yes.
You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm saying the commandments are the only ones that God delivered to Moses direct. Everything else was man given.
I understand.
Because of the commitment. And if you go back
you
and
have
research it, you'll see what I'm saying.
The laws and statutes also goes back to keeping the Sabbath. Like you said you keep the Sabbath. What you out here buying?
Yeah.
You out buying something?
No, but the Sabbath is over though.
The Sabbath
After
over.
sun up.
But you Friday sundown to Saturday.
Yeah.
It's Friday sundown. So
No, Thursday, bro.
Oh, you?
We practice it different.
So y'all practice Thursday. So
I mean, and then like once Saturday is out, well, what today is? That's right. It is.
So Friday sundown to Saturday sundown.
Yeah, we haven't even. Matter of fact, yeah, you're right.
So like I said, man, you got.
I'm not out buying. I'm out like hanging out, real talk. I gotta meet up with a friend, and then I gotta go back.
Man, like I said, man.
Something to eat. But
another thing
what
about that,
I mean, I appreciate you, brother. I think you need to be out here doing what you're doing, man. And I mean, regardless, even if we might not agree on every single point,
I just want you to understand my point of
too.
view. Well, especially about YAHAWAH, because do you think the Lord's name is I am that I am?
Yes.
You think that's his name? All right. I know you got. Hold up. Let me pull the scripture for you. All right. So.
Because, and you know why I think that?
Yeah.
It's because when Moses asked him, what shall I tell him that you're coming? I mean, that you are. I gotta say, keep burning.
My brother, man. I ain't got no problem with my brothers, man.
But like I said, I seen my bro out here. I was like, oh man, I got to go.
Yeah, man, nobody out
Go
here.
build with my brother like this, man.
You be teaching?
No, I just learned, man. I learned up under a lot of different elders, and you know, some of my closest friends are in the truth as well. So.
You gotta feed the sheep, man.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, but what we gotta do, man, we gotta learn to, like, see, our problem is the reason why we were scattered, you know, around the 4 corners of the world is because of our disobedience. But it wasn't just in our heart, stiff-necked. But you gotta remember, Yeshua, the one that's the Messiah, the only one that can save us. He said, he told him, he said, it's not what goes, he said, it's not what goes in, it's what comes out that defiles a man. Yeah. So all these traditions and things, he went against the scribes and the Pharisees on every level. He called them a generation of vipers, bro. He was not with them. They were the upholders of the law and the statutes.
Because what you have
they
to
just
understand,
wasn't holding the
you have to have the laws, statutes, and commandments
See,
with the
nobody
faith.
kept the commandments. They were keeping the statutes and the laws,
but
they were man.
So, like I said, you said you don't teach, right? You said you don't teach, right?
I mean, I talk to brothers at work. You know, anybody that'll listen, I try to tell them whatever I've learned. But I don't call myself a teacher or, you know, a scholar or nothing like that.
Listen, I got one for you.
I got the road.
I know you gotta go. Let me get one last scripture.
And just, I want you to consider what I'm saying, though, and go back and research it. Because I'm not saying go against the Son, the Father. Like the basic things to believe in, to make it into what we trying to be, is all in that. Like, matter of fact, the greatest of the commandments is what? Is to love God and to love thy neighbor with all thy heart. You know what I'm saying? And all the other commandments are built on that. So all the other commandments ain't built on what you wearing, what you eating, how you doing that.
So you saying you can eat pork?
I'm saying, bro, what I'm trying to say, I'm not saying
brother, you gotta be
what I'm trying to say
brother.
is not eating pork is not gonna. What I'm trying to say is whether you eat pork or not eat pork is not gonna keep you in or out of the kingdom.
Oh man, you going a
See,
little off right there.
You going too off. I'm trying to get you back on
You don't
track,
want to be
bro.
ever learning and never come to the knowledge of truth.
Not to mention, look, pork is bad for you, so you shouldn't eat it. But what? Remember one time when Paul was called and he said, I never ate bad flesh or whatever. He said, yeah, you will this time. Because you got to remember, when the Most High say something, you have to do it.
Listen to this. I'm going to read this for you. This is 1 John 2:7. All right? This is John. Brethren, I write no new commandment unto you, but an old commandment, which ye had from the beginning. The old commandment is the word which ye have heard from the beginning. So, what is that beginning?
The beginning, Genesis. Yeah.
Genesis. All right, so you agree that Moses was one of the mighty prophets that had those commandments. So you have to understand, you can't get around it. Listen,
mixing the commandments with the statutes and the laws. I'm not against the commandments. I'm just saying.
So how many commandments are
there? Statutes and the laws. There's 10.
So you saying there's 10
commandments? 10 that
commandments
was given by the Most High. The other ones, if you even read it, they were given by the people that was of the.
So you think you
tribes.
know God?
Yeah.
All right, listen to this. And hereby, this is 1 John 2 and 3. And hereby do we know that we know him, if we keep his commandments. He that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments, is a liar, and the truth is not in him. But whoso keepeth his word, in him verily is the love of God perfected. Hereby know we that we are in him. All right. So he that saith he abideth in him ought himself also walk even as he walked. Now did Christ keep those 613 commandments? He was perfect, right?
Yeah.
So did he keep?
But he didn't necessarily keep.
So you say he only kept 10 commandments?
What I'm trying to tell you is that was the problem the scribes had with him, is that he was not following the laws and traditions of their time.
But I'm saying,
not washing his hands, eating. He was sitting with
that's not a law.
the drunkards. He was doing a lot of things.
He was making that. That's
working
not a law.
on it. He was healing on the Sabbath day.
That's
so
not a
to
law.
him, they were trying to accuse him of not following.
Let me reword it. My question is, do you think Christ only kept 10 commandments? That's my question.
I'm telling you.
So you say he didn't keep. You say he did keep the Mosaic laws, but I wrote to you saying, if you believe in Moses, you would believe in him, for he wrote of him. And if you believe not in his writings, how can you believe in him? You have to believe in his writings, man. Please, I love you, brother, but I'm telling you, man.
I'm gonna with you. I'm gonna check it out.
You gotta get out of that commandment. You gotta keep these commandments, man. I'm telling you. You gotta strive to keep all of them. You got to, man. All right, brother. You got a brother out here saying you gotta keep the commandments, man. I got love for my brother, but you gotta keep these commandments. All right. Well, so what I was getting to point to him, you gotta be perfect, man. You gotta strive to be perfect as the Lord, man. That's what he don't understand. All right. So this is 1 John 5 and 3. I mean, for this is love. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. He talking about you can eat pork and still get into the kingdom. When the Most High literally says all pork eaters that are found in those days, man, that eat an abomination shall be destroyed, man. All right, this brother, man, I'm trying to get my brother out of it, man. But let me get talking about you can eat pork, man. Brothers, these brothers, man, they ever learn it but never come to the knowledge of the truth. Never. We got Isaiah. It's in Isaiah. It's in Isaiah 66. All right, yeah, Isaiah 66 and 15. So he said you can eat pork and do all these things. What does the Lord say? For behold, the Lord will come with fire and with chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the garden, behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh. So he's saying you can eat swine's flesh and get in the kingdom, man. Eating swine's flesh, and the abomination and the mouse shall be consumed together, said the Lord. So if you caught eating swine flesh in those days, you're going to be destroyed. You're going to be completely destroyed, man. But he's saying you can keep eating swine. You can keep doing these things. You ain't got to keep all the commandments. You have to do all his commandments, in his statutes, in his laws, man. It's a shame that we got brothers like that that's ever learning but never come into the knowledge of the truth. So this Matthew 5 and 46, he's saying you can't keep those commandments, you can't do those things. This is Matthew 5 and 46. Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect. So you gotta be perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect, man. But he said you ain't gotta keep those commandments. But he said you ain't gotta do all those things. It's too hard. But you gotta do those things, man. Thus said the Lord.
I'm addicted to the scriptures. I'm addicted. I say a prayer every morning when I wake up. It's a blessing knowing I'm a child of Jacob. I got a problem that I need to take care of.